This is example 2. On the previous video, we did example 1, which was an easier LittleMan computer code. This is a little bit harder than example 1. And to see example 1, check the link in the description. If the link is not there, then write it in the comments and I'll put it there. Example 2. We're about to add a loop, right, that repeatedly adds 5 to an input until a certain condition is met. And in this case, the condition will be that as soon as it reaches 20 or exceeds 20, we exit the loop and we output our result. And we stop the program rather. So how do we explain this? This is the input. So it means the user inputs a number. Let's say the number is 2. Right? What does STO start means? We are storing that imputed number 2 into a variable called start. How do we know start is a variable? It's defined in the data sections. Variables are defined in the data section. The variable is many times a word that you can store things inside it. You can store numbers, you can store other words, you can store many things inside it. So the comment says store the input into the variable start. Now we're going to the label called loop. What this means now is what we stored in start, we are loading it into a loop. So LDA means load, and you're loading it. Remember our number is 2. We're loading number 2 into a loop. And our comment says load the value from start, which is number 2, into the accumulator. The accumulator is the part of your LittleMan computer that is in charge of this process. Now, if we move further down, we see that we are adding 5. Don't forget the question. The question says you add 5, and when it gets to 20 or it exceeds 20, you leave the loop. So we are in the loop now. You add 5 to 2, that is 7. Now, what is this? What is BRZ done? This is it branches to done if it has gotten to 20 or above, right? If our accumulated number has gotten to 20, so far it is 7, so we don't branch to done. If it was, if it met that criteria of 20 and above, we would have skipped all this command and just jumped over to this section here because it said branch to done if it meets the criteria of 20 and above. But it didn't, so we'll bring 7 here and we store 7 into the variable start. Initially it was 2 that was stored, now it is 7, and then we output it and say, all right, now we have 7, and here branch to loop, it means send that value back here, which will load it again into the variable called start. Now 7 is being loaded into the variable start. We add 5 again, it makes it 12. We check for that condition. Is 12 up to 20 or above 20? No, it isn't. So we don't branch to done. We continue step by step. We store 12 into the variable start. We output 12. Then it comes here, branch back to loop. Load as start. You see, it keeps looping in like in a circle. So now we have 12. We add 5 to 12. We have 17. Branch to done. If 17 is 20 or above, it is not 20 or above, so we store 17 in the variable start, we output it, and then we'll branch back to the loop. Anything that gets here gets sent back. There's no condition here, it just gets sent back. All right, 17 comes here, we add 5 to 17, and we have 22. And when they say branch to done, if it is 20 and above, so 22 is actually above 20, so all these commands are skipped. We branch to done, so we skip and jump here, right? And what command is here? It says halt. In other words, the program ends. So the question now is, what is the value of our last output? Is it 20? Is it 22? Nope. Our last output was 17. Because when it got to 22, it never got to the last output command. It got to this and it's branched to done and program ended. So our last output was 17. And that is the LittleMan Computer explanation. Now, there are more explanations here. If you need them, just ask me in the comment section and I will give it to you. And now there is an example 3 that I will only give to you. It's more complex, and example 3 is a past question. Is a question that was asked in the past GCSE exam in the UK. And if you want to have access to my solution and explanation of that question, here, just write it in the comment section and I'll make that video.